And now, a special edition of the Toddcast podcast.
I think the last time we did a best of podcast, you were just able to start going back to shows and seeing live bands. You couldn't dance, but you could congregate with your friends and, sip a beer or six and hang out and kind of feel normal, or at least as close to normal as you could get at the time. So obviously much has changed, being that, well, there's no mask mandate now in BC, no more showing your vaccination passports at pubs and restaurants, and it feels great, doesn't it? Even though we're still in it, COVID has not gone away. They're calling for the older population to get another booster shot, probably only a matter of time before the middle-agers get asked, we're told, to do the same thing. It's made a couple of intense years of interviewing and marketing of this podcast. Nothing truly has slowed down in that regard. And this week, you'll hear highlights from 9 recent guests with this best of episode. We'll get to a handful of our musical guests in just a minute. Now, coming up shortly in Stop Me If You've Heard This Before, retired NHL center Dave Scatchard talks about the top season of his 14 years in the league and a stellar year of playing with a particular team in New York. Am I giving it away? That is powered by Puff. Get 20% off regularly priced cannabis accessories and apparel with the code TODCAST. You can do that in-store and online at puff.ca. Love to keep that code around, so spread it out to your 420 friendly friends. First, let's get to some musical guests and highlights from their podcast appearances, all of whom are powered by Pineapple Sound, a recording and mixing studio in Langley since 2013. Bands absolutely love it there, and for good reason. It is fully dialed in. It's a great little place. They also welcome podcasts, voiceover actors, and more, and they will rent out the entire facility as well. Ask Dave about that. Check them out through pineapplesound.com. Now, Canadian Americana artist Kyle McCurney was a guest February 1st, and he and I go way back, likely to the early 2000s anyway. He's a great dude. He's a killer musician. And since his visit, there has been some big news coming out of Kyle's camp. He recently won first place at the Project Wild Country Artist Development Project. And there's a good chunk of change. $75,000 should be able to help him out with marketing and promotion for the rest of this year and perhaps even into next year. And when Kyle jumped to Zoom with us, he talked at the time about being nominated for an Alberta Country Music Award, in my opinion, in the best category going.
Yeah, thanks. It's Roots Artist of the Year. So that's a really cool honor to be nominated, just to be recognized and kind of, accepted into the Alberta club, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah.
It feels really cool. It's new still, and it's kind of, I haven't been around that long doing this, so it feels really good to be accepted,
Yeah, totally. And, like you say, it's kind of fairly new for you. I followed your career, I think almost from the start. And,
Yeah.
I've seen you command each genre that you've done, from rock to pop, now to Americana, which I think we talked last time. I'd said, this kind of feels like it's your wheelhouse, dude.
Yeah, it definitely does. I like it a lot. It's just where I come from, My played, and they were all about the bluegrass and country, and I just grew up running around listening to that all the time and playing it with them and with my dad. So yeah, it's definitely in the genes, in the blood, for sure.
Absolutely loving the news coming out of Kyle McCurney's camp. Now, in mid-February, you heard Theory of a Dead Man's bassist Dean Back on the podcast. Now, here's another musician that we go way back with, randomly meeting each other out on a golf course at the QE Pitch and Putt here in Vancouver. So it's me and a buddy, Kyle, who in fact, he's one of my best friends still to this day. We get paired up with Dean and his girlfriend at the time, Stacy, who's now his wife. And long story short, he recognized my voice from working at 99.3 The Fox here in Vancouver. And he said that he was in this cool band and they were just about to release their debut. invites me over to their drummer's apartment, and we listened to the album in its entirety, and it was absolutely amazing. The whole band was there, and we've been, really good friends ever since that day, really. And of course, over the years, you've seen Theory of a Deadman become one of Canada's biggest rock bands. 9 top 10 singles in the States. 4 of them have gone to number 1. Huge tours, and apparently, absolutely an insane fan base. This story will blow your mind.
Oh man, this goes back many years, but the craziest thing that happened on tour was we were touring around, and we were doing about, like, between shows, about 400 or 500 miles. We're traveling pretty quick, and the same fan was at all our shows, and we were like, this is weird. Like, how do you get to these places? You're coming to see us all these places. Like, oh, I'm just a huge fan. And so we took off again after our show late at night, 2 a.m. or whatever. And we were caravanning with our truck driver and another band. And this was in the middle of the night. We're all sleeping. We pull off to a truck stop to get gas. And our truck that was carrying the gear behind us radioed to our bus driver, "Stop, someone just fell off your bus."
What?
And so she was riding between the trailer and the bus on the hitch. And that's how she was getting between the shows. What? So, yeah. So we had to leave her at this gas station, and she showed up to the show still the next day, and we had to call the police. And so that's one of the craziest experiences that we had on tour. Yeah.
And we started off last month, March, with a visit from Vancouver indie rock artist Dan Mangan. Solid guy, honest, engaged in the conversation. We had a really good talk with him about all kinds of music. We talked COVID, of course, the shows that he was binge watching at the time, and found out that he's a self-professed fair-weathered sports fan.
I'm a guilt-free fair-weather fan of all sports.
Yeah.
And I don't feel bad about it at all. I feel great about it. Like, I feel like sports are cool, and I love sports. I love being athletic. I love playing sports. I love moving my body, but I don't care enough to, like, invest time and energy and money into, like, caring about all the minutia. It's just not it's just not in front of me. Like, there's other things that I care about more. But, Sidney Crosby scoring that gold medal goal, like, no better Russian. Like, that was insane.
Awesome.
Running out into the street, everyone's hugging each other. God, that was great.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I love sports when sports get exciting. Raptors runs, hockey playoff runs, and I don't feel bad about it at all.
Musical guests of the Toddcast podcast are powered by Pineapple Sound, providing recording and mixing services for a wide range of artists and genres since 2013. Check them out at pineapplesound.com.
I drive to the sticks to pick her up. She makes me wait at the gate. We take a moonlight ride, hydroplaning on the rain. And she spits out her tangerine, fixes up a smoke, squats beside the ditch and pisses while she tells a joke. Maybe I'll be better on my own, but right now I just don't know. No, I just don't know. Baby, I'll be better on my own. Baby, I'll be better all day and all night, all night and all day. I've been thinking about you, but you're not thinking about me. All day and all night, all night and all day. And I get so high, why won't you stay all day and all night? I just can't stop thinking about you. Long black satin hair wrapped around my wrist. She whips around and stares me down, and I get the gist. Crumpled cans of grapefruit fizz on the floor in the hotter bed. It's jangling like a tambourine. It fills me up with dread. Maybe I be better on my own. But right now, I just don't know. No, I just don't know. Baby, I'll be better on my own. Baby, I'll be better all day and all night. All night and all day. I've been thinking about you, but you're not thinking about me. All day and all night. All night and all day. And I get so high, wondering why won't you stay all day and all night. I just can't stop thinking about you. Just can't stop thinking about you. Just can't stop thinking about you. All day and all night, all night and all day. I've been thinking about you, but you're not thinking about me. All day and all night, all night and all day. And I got so high, wondering why won't you stay all day and all night. I'm on it, yeah, yeah. Whoa, whoa, 'cause darling, will you make me feel something? I wanna give you my loving. It goes on and on, it don't stop. Because darling, you make me feel something. I wanna give you my loving. It goes on and on and on and on and on. All day and all night. All day and all night.
The website to Ocean Village Resort says, embrace the pace, enjoy the view. Two massive understatements. Tofino is a vibe. It's a lifestyle. And there's a reason I've been going there year after year with my family, Jess and the boys. I think this is our 10th year. Same resort. Dina and the staff are just top drawer. Now with COVID, they're simply just a text away. It's a pretty cool little setup they've got to combat the pandemic, keep things rolling. We were actually just there over Easter, took the Thursday, Tuesday off for a little bit of an extra long weekend in Tofino. And you know, there's something about Ocean Village. Maybe it's the memories you build over the years, but we were all saying the same thing this time. Like, this place feels like home. And it truly does. It's the familiarity of it all. Like, we're walking to an island in the ocean. We've done this a couple times over the years. But low tide makes it so you can walk and not get a complete soaker. I mean, a pretty good chunk of time to devote to this little island and finding giant crabs along the way. And they're at least like, not giant, but there's like 6 inches anyway, and a bunch of them. I mean, you know, you're really building up memories at this point. The kids are loving it, and pretty much the countdown starts to, when are we going back to Tofino as soon as we get home? I hate to give away my favorite vacation place on planet Earth, but if you're thinking of the island and heading over to Tofino, because I know there's a handful of listeners with friends who say that they've never been, or those who say they can't wait to get back. We will be back. Of course, we do. We do between 7 and 10 days at Ocean Village Resort every summer. Tofino's original beachside resort. Very handy. Find them at oceanvillageresort.com. Ocean Village on Instagram. As we continue with another one of Vancouver's musical jewels here on the Toddcast, Small Town Artillery and the Birds Up North are braver.
Hello, my love. Hello, my beautiful one, my son. There's no highways here, so we walk until the day is done. Make a temple inside yourself and fill it up with the truth. You'll never be beside yourself this way. Trust me, I know what to do. So many miles I've walked find my home. Many miles, many bridges I've crossed to be alone. So if I let you back in, then I keep going. I don't need nobody, no savior, but the birds up north, the braver. The lesson in the wind is how we can forgive and love again. As much as we hold on to the past, I will never be him again. The pieces all fit, we don't need to try so hard. I got a lump in my throat and I got a fire in my heart. So many miles I've walked to find my home. Many miles, many bridges I've crossed to be alone. So if I let you back in, then I keep going. I don't need nobody, no savior, but the birds up north, the braver. Hello, my love, my beautiful one, my son. Hello, my love, my beautiful one, my son. My son. So many miles I've walked to find my home. Many miles, many bridges I've crossed to be alone. So if I let you back in, then I keep growing. I don't need nobody, no savior, but the birds up north, the braver. Hello, my love, my beautiful one, my son. Hello, my love, my beautiful one, my son. Hello, my love, my beautiful one, my son. Hello, my love, my beautiful one, my son.
And now, stop me if you've heard this before on the Toddcast podcast.
If you're a fan of hockey and watch the NHL with any sort of regularity, you'll know the name Dave Scatchard. He played in the Bigs for 14 seasons. The Canucks, the Islanders, Bruins, Coyotes, Predators, Blues. Grew up in small-town BC in Salmon Arm. Played hockey relentlessly, as you might expect growing up. Became an exciting player to watch on the ice, a grinder, a great two-way player. His NHL career, unfortunately, came to a halt in August 2011. His 5th concussion left him with slurred speech, headaches, brain injuries, and with the help of top coaches, healers, energy workers, Dave persevered, wrote the best-selling book, The Comeback, My Journey Through Heaven and Hell, a truly inspiring story if you've yet to read it. And when Dave was a guest, we talked about the best team pranks that he's seen or was involved in, having a barbecue with Nickelback and their road crew. The nostalgia of growing up in the 80s came up. So did binge watching Ozark and Game of Thrones. We talked about randomly meeting Snoop Dogg at a Vancouver bar. The music in his house as a kid growing up. We talked about realizing true potential, his friendship with Jeremy Roenick, the unbound energy, and Stop Me if you've heard this before. Dave talked about the high point of his NHL career being one outstanding season he had playing with the New York Islanders.
It's all in the book, guys. You gotta read the
Grab
book.
that book.
Let's see. I had 2 hat tricks in like 2 weeks or something like that. They're on my wall over there. And that was pretty special. One was against the Tampa Bay Lightning, Vinny Lecalvier, Marty St. Louis. And then the other one was against Mario and Jagger. And like I only played like 12 minutes in one game and 13 minutes in another game. That's no power play or anything. Like that was the year I scored 27. I was up for, I don't know if I won player of the week or player of the month. I was up for the running of player of the month in the NHL, which for a guy like me, that's pretty special because I wasn't a regular occurrence and I didn't really get a ton of ice time. So those 2 hat tricks were like amazing. And that year was amazing with 27 goals. And I love my line with Jason Weimer and Jason Blake. We were just on fire. I think I put in the book that I think after November, we scored the most goals as a third line in the whole league. Blakey had a great year. Weems had a career year. I had my career year. And we were, I don't want to say unstoppable, but we dominated. Like, it wasn't even close.
Stop Me, if you've heard this before, on the Toddcast podcast is brought to you by Puff, purveyors of quality cannabis accessories since 1995. Use promo code TODCAST and get 20% off regularly priced accessories and apparel in-store and online at puff.ca.
You're listening to the best of episode of the Toddcast podcast.
Nude Vodka Soda powers the Toddcast podcast. Sugar and sweetener free with just 100 calories and 0 carbs per serving. Visit them online at nudebeverages.com.
Learn a lot about me. Maybe I'm using you to get what I need. Keep trying just to found something. Keep trying just to found something. Doing the wrong thing the right way. So get up. Doing the wrong thing the right way. Wasted my time on you. Now I can't think. Somehow I floated through while trying to say, can't stop myself from feeling sick. Just trying not to found something. Doing the wrong thing the right way. So get up. Even the right place, the wrong day can kill us. Knowing the dead shit, you keep it to yourself. Doing the keep it up while drowning by myself. Too scared to ask for help, 'cause I just don't know how. Doing the wrong thing the right way, so get up. Doing the wrong thing. Doing the wrong thing the right way, so get up. Even the right place, the wrong day could kill us. Knowing the dead shit, you keep it to yourself. Doing the wrong thing the right way.
No question, if we're handing out indie awards, that is one of the best indie rock bands in Canada present day. They are from Edmonton, Alberta. Nicholas Rage from their brand new EP called Personal Party. It's a new song for them, new for the podcast. It's The Wrong Way, and you've been hearing these guys on the podcast for the last couple of years. Deadly Band, as mentioned, from Edmonton, Alberta, one of the few bands that we play that aren't from Vancouver. They just had their EP release party last month. Expect big things out of these guys in the years to come. And last time we talked with the band, they were saying they're likely making their way to Vancouver in mid-August. So, you know, not to be presumptuous, but that would imply that a tour is currently being routed. Is it routed? You heard the Boom Booms. Their song was called All Day and All Night, arguably the best Vancouver indie band of the last decade. Solid players. Pretty much every song is super catchy, amazing performers, and you may remember that they actually called it a day a couple, 3 years back now, I guess, maybe even 4. It's been a while, but since they announced that on their Facebook page, they've played shows in Vancouver and the area. And in fact, I went for a burger and a beer with their singer Aaron just a couple of months back now, and he was saying that there may even be new music coming, which is great news. Coming up in just a few minutes, listen to this, 311's bassist Peanut talking about his love of basketball and F1 racing. That is powered by our longtime podcast supporters, Tedco RV Supplies in Langley. These guys are beauties, true friends of the podcast. RV service, repair, ICBC accredited, check, check, check. You can find them on Facebook. They're also on Twitter at Tedco RV Supplies. First, let's get to some sporting guests and highlights from their visits, which is powered by Capit Chilliwack, providing the best quality products and services for you and your truck. We're talking beautiful tules, tonneau covers, rooftop tents. The camping chairs there are fantastic. Reminding, I actually need to make it out there to grab a couple chairs for the Tofino trip in the summer. Step bars and floor liners, high quality aftermarket vehicle accessories. You can find them online at facebook.com/Chilliwack Capit. We started off February with former WWE tag team wrestlers, the Bollywood Boys. You would know them prior to wrestling with the ECCW, where they were the tag team championship 5 times between 2011 and 2015. They made their WWE debut on SmackDown in April of 2017 and talked about how Bret Hart is one of the best of all time, and that the Hart family helped the boys get to where they did.
Yeah, no doubt. And even when we were about to break into the business, this is like mid 2000, and I know I'm jumping forward a little bit, but like, you know, everybody had heard of the Hart family and the Hart family dungeon. So when we were looking to break into the business, we're like, where do we go? And this is like pre-social media, you know, you had a little bit of AOL working here and there, whatnot, but but like, you know, the Hart family dungeon is where we wanted to train. And I was lucky enough to get my start there in 2004, just before they sold the house. So I was actually down there in the dungeon with Bruce Hart, Ross Hart, and right on that canvas where like guys like Jake Roberts, British Bulldogs, everybody kind of cut the teeth. So very lucky in that sense. So to my brother's point, like, and now Brett's someone that we can just text, you know, be like, hey, this is what we have. And this is
how crazy is that, right? Just randomly texting with Bret Hart.
Yeah, right. So it's like he's more than just somebody we looked up to now. Now he's like a mentor / coach / friend. So we're very blessed in that sense.
As we move on to the ice, it was mid-February that you heard Carolina Hurricane center Vincent Trocheck on the podcast. I guess you could call him a league veteran at this point, 10 years in the NHL, selected by the Florida Panthers in the 2011 entry draft, went in the third round, 64th overall, yet still signed a 6-year, $28.5 million contract in 2016. And great to get some thoughts on the impossible. Truly, we had him answer the question of all questions. Gretzky or Lemieux? And what if those guys played in today's NHL? Would they be as dominant?
I wasn't really around for Gretzky at all to watch. But, I mean, in my mind, I grew up watching Mario, and there's nobody better than he was in my mind.
Yeah. A monster, like, okay with taking hits, through the body really well. Of course, was just an amazing scorer. Like, it's something else.
Big
right?
body.
Yeah.
Played in multiple different eras and dominated in all of them.
Yeah, right. And if those guys were to play in today's NHL, would they be as dominant as they were, do you think?
I mean, Mario kind of did play in this maybe not this generation, but he played in an era that was still really fast and tough at the same time, with not as many of the rule changes that help out offensive players. So I think what he did in the early 2000s was pretty amazing.
As we make our way over to the gridiron, if you're a fan of football, specifically the CFL, no doubt you were pumped to see kicker Shaun White coming back to the BC Lions. He spent the last decade plus as the kicker for the Alouettes, for the Elks. Shaun originally signed with the Lions as a territorial exemption in 2007, played a few years with the club, and then took off and finally back to where he belongs, and still has the fire inside to win another Grey Cup.
Oh, hell yeah. And that's, again, why I knew what I was getting myself into last year. But you look at the team that we had on paper, I thought we were going to dominate. But, that's just the way football is or sports is, it's just not fair. Just things didn't go our way, and it's the way she goes. So, but then now this new contract with BC, like, I haven't been this excited since my first contract. That's how nice. I'm so excited because now I can stay home. I don't have to move around. I live with my girlfriend now, and my parents are just down the street. My nieces and nephews are old enough to appreciate going to games now, and they are everyone's so excited. And to be able to share what I do finally with my family feels awesome because I've been gone for 12 years. So they would come to one game a year in Montreal, 1 game a year in Edmonton.
Right.
And then they see me once a year when I come home to travel, and I get to see them for 5 minutes after a game, and I got to hop on the bus and I'm out. So it's finally good to stay home and be able to share this. And plus I going too, I have another job. I work for Dynamic Rescue, and I'm going to apply for White Rock Fire out here too. So, I got more things going on for me here than anywhere else. And I'm 36 years old. So I'm going to play football until no one wants me. I'm too competitive. I don't like to lose at anything. And I still play a lot of other sports, and I'm just lucky football pays me to play, but I'd play if people ask me to play. Right.
Toddcast Sporting Guest visits are powered by Capit Chilliwack, providing the best quality products and services for you and your truck. Online at facebook.com/ChilliwackCapit.
Still don't know where I am going. show. Put it on the line, baby, show me what you know. Whiskey by the fire, call out for some more, and we'll dance until the night. Yeah. I got 2 feet in the grave, man, and I'm about to show. Legends never die. Hey, let's go.
And now, listen to this on the Toddcast podcast.
If you listen to a good rock radio station, chances are they play 311. They've been around since 1988 from Omaha, Nebraska, 13 albums deep into the career, a couple live albums, 4 compilation albums, bunch of EPs, some DVDs. The string of success over the years that these guys have had, I mean, top of Billboard's Hot Modern Rock Tracks chart, platinum, gold albums, over 10 million sold, and when their bassist Peanut was a guest, we talked about binging Fargo, Ozark, Breaking Bad. We talked about nostalgia, talking about having to wait for Rolling Stone or Spin or Circus Magazine as a kid to read about your favorite bands. We talked about how COVID had made him rethink the game just a little bit. The Eagles, the Muppet Christmas came up, so did crate digging. Love crate digging. For old albums, seeing the Red Hot Chili Peppers in a bowling alley, his love of Marvel and DC Comics. He shared a near-death story involving touring and a bus. And Peanut talked about his love of basketball and F1 racing. Listen to this.
I like to play. I'll play almost anything unless I'm getting hit super hard, because that sucks. But unless it's basketball, because basketball does lots of hits. I mean, basketball is my favorite anything as far as sport ball. Playing it is a lifelong, whatever, want, whenever I get a chance. And I miss the guys that I play with. We haven't been able to assemble since everything shut down.
Right.
But yeah, I love the Lakers. I've been a Laker fan since Magic Johnson, and first listening to the Chili Peppers. I had a lot of influence in that. And then, the Showtime team was so easy to like. So that was just kind of like, it's like stamped into my head. Mm-hmm. And my mom will watch anything. My mom will watch Highlight. She'll watch Tiddlywinks. If there was competitive paint drying watching, she would watch that, and I love that about her. She loves competition. She's just all about it, all about seeing that, that who gets the edge up, who gets the edge over. Yeah. But at least lately, I've been getting really into F1 racing. Oh, unbelievable. Yeah. The Netflix door opening of Drive to Survive, that series was really great to like kind of know the men driving the machines, and then the team behind them, and the situation here and there, and all these dramatics that just happen in real life, especially when there's billions of dollars floating around, is just, it's incredible what those guys pull off. And I love Lewis Hamilton. What a fucking badass. I want to shake that hand.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've met a couple of those guys. I met Patrick Carpentier, Alex Tagliani, I think his last name is. Good man. Fucking good dudes, man.
Yeah, I bet. God, what discipline they have.
Like, dude, and like nerves of steel too, right? Like, think of the speeds that these guys are going. It's insane.
Yeah, I wouldn't want anyone that I know personally to be doing that. So it's fun to watch from the sidelines, because it is such a, it's a fucking kick in the groin, it's just, totally. and it's a gut clench for 90 minutes. And I love the broadcast. It's incredible. Like watching the show and learning the people and all that, Netflix format is interesting. And that was, like I said, that's how I got introduced to it. But then watching it like on, if it's Sky Sports or ESPN, they're just channeling it in, getting yelled at by these English guys about every turn and every move, all up and down the track. It's 24 drivers. It's like, God, this is great. So much fun. So yeah, that's been my new obsession as far as sports. And yeah, I don't think it'll ever wane. Yeah, I want to see it in person now.
Listen to This on the Toddcast podcast is brought to you by Tedco RV Supplies in Langley, an ICBC-approved repair shop. Find them online at TedcoRVSuppliesInc.com.
You're listening to the best of episode of the Toddcast podcast.
The Toddcast podcast is powered by Milano Coffee, bringing you the finest espresso and coffee concepts in the world. Online at milanocoffee.ca.
Tell me all your secrets, you said. Showing up half cut at 3 a.m. I can't keep going through the motions, just heavy light at the end. There's no sense in running around pretending like we're gonna stick it out. Oh, but it's still her that I crave. Oh, she begs me to stay a little bit longer. Oh, she begs me to stay a little bit longer. I can feel my wedding heart sinking down into my bones. Oh, she begs me tripping over ourselves, doing this and too many times. She's so caught up in addiction. Oh, tries to bring comfort to life. Oh.
Absolutely love that band. Winter Youth, and the song is called Half Cut, one of my favorite, personally anyway, in Vancouver. In the music scene, Emily's voice is absolutely unparalleled, unmatched. Hoping that the pandemic inspired maybe some creativity in that camp, and hopefully, maybe, we'll hear some new music in the not-so-distant future. Played you a band called Pistol Whip the Devil, and their song was called Ride or Die. I guess you could say it's country-infused rock. And yes, that is the singer of Crankshaft. Now, Crankshaft, of course, here's a band you've been hearing on this podcast for years. So Shane and Jeff of Crankshaft started up the side project, and Emily Malloy, who of course you've heard on this podcast as well, Emily is along for the ride as well in that project. A cool name, again, Pistol Whip the Devil. The name absolutely fits the music. Cannot wait to see him live. Definitely will be keeping an eye on their socials for a date and a venue. Speaking of live music, you can find a list of shows, or small list anyway, of shows happening locally in Vancouver and the area with the indie scene at toddhancock.ca. If you're playing a show or you're checking one out, let us know about it. We'll post it up at the website. That is brought to you by Mystic Rhythms Rehearsal Studios. Over 40 years experience in the music industry, outstanding jam spaces. Find out more through mysticrhythms.ca. Okay, our final guest highlights in this Best of podcast, episode 273, and some entertainment guests, all of whom are powered by Canuck Auctions. Expect to find some hidden gems, hockey cards, any baseball and football and everything else, but we're talking like comic books, insane collectibles, Canada's largest memorabilia and collectibles auction house. Find out more through CanuckAuctions.com. Now, you heard Real Housewives of Dallas alum Leanne Locken on the podcast to start up February. Outside of the show, you will know her as a Miss USA finalist. She was born in Pasadena, Texas, was raised by her grandparents in Houston. Eventually, she moved to Chicago to get into modeling. Then it was off to LA to get into acting. We covered a lot of ground talking to Leanne, like the music that was in her house as a kid, how her life changed because of COVID, home renovations. We talked about vacations and found out that she has a notebook full of life goals for 2022.
Oh my gosh. So I have so many, I literally have notebooks that I write stuff down on. So I have like film festival goals. I have magazine goals. I have all kinds of stuff, so travel goals. I try to really stretch myself. I really want to spread my wings. I want to continue I had such great travels last year. I want to continue my travel. I want to continue my collaborations with some amazing vendors that I'm working with. And I want to keep pushing the envelope of doing more work in the mental health world, more work in the LGBTQ world, that kind of a thing.
Yeah,
so
that's great. And not a lot of people do that for themselves. They don't set goals.
Oh, I'm literally like these notepads have page after page after. Like when I have a big dry erase board in front of me, I need to like clean it off and start fresh with because I did that one year, I'd be like, okay, January, these are 2 things that I want to do, that I want to attend or that I want to be a part of. So I slowly research and get stuff out like that.
Yeah, I do the same thing. You need to, how you can hit goals if you don't have any to hit?
Exactly. Well, how can you grow if you don't stumble? And how can you fly if you don't try?
And we'll shift gears now to a very cool Canadian content creator. Say that one 5 times fast. If you don't know who Brittle Star is, pause this podcast, do a quick Google search, and dive in. He is easily one of our favorite content creators, and we're not alone. His videos have been seen more than 600 million times. He's worked with huge brands along the way. KFC, Cal Tire, Subway, Disney, ESPN, CBC, Walmart, Gordon Ramsay, the Property Brothers, and if you didn't know, Brittle Star released music as Brittle Star back in the day. So it made sense for us to talk to him about overrated bands, first concerts.
My first concert ever, well, if I want to just really broaden the definition, my first concert ever was Mr. Dress Up in 1970.
Did you see Mr. Dress Up? Nice.
Yeah, 1975. Casey and Finnegan were there as well. I saw him again. So I saw him when I was 5, and then I saw him again when I was 21, but Casey and Finnegan weren't there. Some other discount puppets showed up. It wasn't really as good. But he did make a Milli Vanilli joke, so that was pretty good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which is nice. So yes, I mean, that was my first concert as such. And then I think my first big concert was at Maple Leaf Gardens, and that was for The Clash. And
oh, wow.
That was exciting. Yeah.
That's a pretty good bar to set right out of the gate.
Right?
Flash,
It's got way more cachet than I merit. I think it makes me sound cooler than I am. It's like,
I know, right? You should just do next time you get asked that, just fucking lead with The Clash, I'm trying to get Rafi,
man.
I'm trying to get Rafi on the podcast. Love to talk to that.
Oh,
guy.
Yeah. He's the coolest, man. He's awesome. Yeah. He follows me on Twitter, and I'm always so stoked whenever he interacts with me, I'm like, "Ooh, this is exciting."
Yeah, I know every once in a while he'll like one of my tweets.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, Rafi just liked my tweet.
And he's badass too, eh? Have you been
badass, man?
He's very badass, and he's a very much an activist and all that kind of stuff. It's great. I love it.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you heard Hustler's Beaver of the Year 2021, Kitty Quinn, on the podcast at the start of March. We talked about the shows that she was binge watching at the time. We talked about seeing Motley Crue and Kiss in concert, growing up with the music of America, James Taylor, Elvis Presley, that she's going to start up the Naked Podcat podcast. Here's another fun follow on social media. She has a free OnlyFans account, a fun TikTok account. She's super into cosplay and Comic-Cons. And as it turns out, she's big into aliens and conspiracy theories.
That is so funny because for so many years, it's been one of the main things I talk about in my camp shows. I totally believe in aliens. And I think it's due to my dad. I mean, growing up, I was raised a Christian, and when I got into high school, I was a loner, and I just started to go to the library and read books on religion. And then I fell into paganism. But aside from that, because I know that aliens does tie to religion, so that's why I kind of like brought it up. But aside from that, my dad has always been into astronomy growing up. He always had books about space, and he always had these crazy big telescopes, and he would set them up outside, and we would like zoom in and look at the moon, and he would look at different planets and stuff like that. And he would just always tell me, he's like, you never know, there could be something out there. And then after I became 18, 19, I got balls deep into like conspiracy theories. So I really learned, especially also, I know Ancient Aliens is kind of corny to a lot of people, but they do talk about a lot of historical things. And that's also what made me, I started to see that show, and I was like, I want to research more. And I would go on the internet and just research more and just see how there's certain things on Earth that are like unexplainable still. And it's like, what's the only explanation that could be? Maybe that.
Totally. Like, especially when you start digging into like
could be tied to aliens, you know? So I totally believe in aliens. And I personally have had dreams about aliens since I was a kid.
Really?
I have dreams about them talking to me. I've had a dream. The last one I had was, I had two dreams a couple of years ago. One was I couldn't see the aliens, but I remember in my dream, I was above my parents' house and there was a flying saucer, and I didn't see the aliens, but in my mind, I was talking to them, and I asked them, I was like, oh my gosh, can you take me on a ride to your flying saucer? And have you seen the movie Paul?
Yeah.
With Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
They basically, in my dream, did to me what Paul did in that movie. They were like, okay, we will exchange information with you. So like in exchange for taking you on this trip, I don't know, we have to exchange your experiences in your mind. But in my mind, they like implanted a bunch of information and truth and knowledge and just craziness about the universe. And then I had this other dream that I was in an airplane, and there are these people, and they're like these tall, skinny, blonde, white people. And they were telling me, you're chosen to help people on Earth. We need your help. And then all of a sudden I was on a planet, and it was, I don't know, looked like Mars or something. And I walked over this hill, and I just saw this like army of like soldiers, like they almost look like stormtroopers, to be honest. They're like in armor. There were soldiers, just for like a reference of the closest thing to think of.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I knew they were negative, like they were bad, not good. And then I woke up. So I've just had this like really weird, intense alien dreams. So I'm just like, they're out there.
Toddcast Podcast entertainment guest visits are powered by Hancock Auctions, Canada's largest memorabilia and collectibles auction house. Find them online at CanuckAuctions.com.
Give you everything that I got.
Don't even get me started about how good those guys are. The top tier of their genre here in Vancouver. Arlo Wells, the song, a kick-ass song from those guys called Ghost, and another one of those bands that you know is going to be absolutely kill live. And who knows, maybe when we nail down a new Vancouver venue to throw live shows again, we'll dial up a really good and heavy night and, maybe see if those guys want to play for us. Irons are in the fire and hoping to have maybe something going by summer kind of thing. And that's going to do it for this one. A best of podcast, 9 guests in episode 273, a broad stroke look at what you can expect with the Toddcast. Our normal quote unquote podcasts have 3 guests a week, music, sports, entertainment, chocked full of indie music, mostly Vancouver bands. My name is Todd Hancock. Thank you so much for listening to this one. If you liked what you heard, please tell your friends about us. You can subscribe, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud for the audio. We do have a YouTube channel as well with all of the interviews that we do in full, in its entirety. You can comment, of course, and rate the podcast. That does help out with search results. Again, search us out through Toddcast podcast. Huge thanks to all of our wonderful sponsors. You can find links to all sponsor websites on toddhancock.ca. If you'd like to sponsor the podcast, you can for as little as $10 a day. It's cheap. Contact info is at the homepage. And if you help us find a sponsor, we'll give you a commission based on that ad buy. If you know a business that should be advertising with us, send them our way and we'll take it from there. Till next week, and the second part of our Best of the Last Few Months podcast, don't be an asshole. Nobody wants to be around that. Have fun, play hard, and most of all, believe in yourself.
The Toddcast Podcast. Keep in touch with Todd through Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and bookmark toddhancock.ca.
Now, before you go hunting for something else to listen to, let me make it easy. I'm Mike Carruthers, host of a podcast called Something You Should Know, and I speak with experts about fascinating things that affect your life, from human behavior, relationships, health, science, and everyday mysteries. We've been downloaded millions of times because every episode teaches you something you'll be talking about later. Open up Something You Should Know and give it one episode. You might just find your new favorite podcast.
You've watched them from the outside your whole life. On TV, on stage, on the cover. The success that always looks like it happened to someone on a different planet. But what if it didn't? I'm Evelyn, and I've spent over 25 years in entertainment, producing for some of the biggest names in Hollywood. And here's what I learned. The distance between you and them, it's a lot shorter than anyone's letting on. On my podcast, Reppin', I sit down with the people you've been watching, and I ask them who they actually are. Not the brand, the person. Where they started, what it cost them, what almost broke them. Their grit, their courage, their resilience, and the lessons they've learned, it's all yours for the taking. Reppin', wherever you listen.
Reality TV is messy.
Pop culture is louder than ever.
And the internet,
completely unhinged.
Welcome to Roxanne
and Chantel,
the podcast where cousins Roxanne and Chantel break down reality TV, celebrity drama, and the stories everyone's texting about.
We recap the shows,
spill the headlines,
and sit down with the stars themselves.
No filter,
no boring takes,
just the tea.
New episodes every week.
If it's trending,
we're talking about it.
This is Roxanne
and Chantel.
Let's get into it.